What's up, everybody? Bootsy Greenwood here, and we're going to continue into this exploration of the Kybalion, this old Hermetic book, by going into the third law, which is vibration. Oh yeah, the law of vibration. Boy, we're really getting into a lot of stuff that's, I don't know, you hear it a lot. You just hear it a lot. Well, you got to vibrate at this frequency, or you got to vibrate at that frequency. And it's like, well, what the hell does that mean? Which is a completely valid question. But let's start with what the chapter's trying to explain. And let's first start with the really simple question. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that it will make a vibration, but we interpret that vibration as sound. What this chapter is talking about is what is underneath energy. If everything is energy, right? If everything's part of this one thing, this all, this like metaphysical soup or whatever it is, then what is that? What is pushing it, right? We know that in reality, there are atoms with a nucleus and all of these particles that's all in motion, right? So this really isn't solid, even though it feels solid. So we know that, right? Just from regular science. That's basically what this chapter is talking about. And there are tons of different vibrations that we don't pick up on, right? We know that X-rays are a thing. We know that radio waves are a thing, and they're waves, right? Like they look like this, right? Or like this. But everything's wiggly, everything's moving, and that's what's underneath energy, is this vibration. So that we're not really this solid state. Everything's really in flux, but as time passes, it looks solid, right? The way we're moving and the way that it's all folding together. But outside of our awareness are many different vibrations. And, people talk a lot about vibration as emotion. And I think that there's some elements of truth to that. And the Kybalion talks a lot about transmuting from like a lower to a higher or a better, frequency or whatever, right? The idea being that you should be able to put yourself in a better mood, basically. That's the basic idea. That you can go from one state to another state, and it's just about perspective. It's about having a higher perspective. Let's say that this is a low frequency, and let's say that you're looking out for low frequency stuff. You are a bit of an Eeyore, okay, let's say. Okay? That's what you see, that's what you'll get. You won't see this stuff because you won't be looking for it. So if you start to look for things that are, quote, higher vibrational, unquote, then you'll start to see that more. Remember, quantum physics is observation. It's confirmation bias used to your advantage. So basically, you're looking for the things that you want more of. You're constantly seeking that out. So if you want to be in a good state of mind, you're looking for anything that could raise your state, like a bird chirping, or the sun is shining, or even if it's rainy, then it's not cold, it's a nice warm day or whatever, right? So that you're constantly taking perspective. The higher your perspective is, the more you'll be able to see. The more clearly you'll be able to see, the more optimistic you'll be. You'll be in a better emotional state as a result of having more perspective. So when we think about the two me's, which are a really big principle in this book, you've got the big I and the little me, right? The little me is like the participant who's like running all around and experiencing life as a human, as an animal, as a very simple sort of being, right? It's the less self-aware part of you. And then you have the big I, which is that perspective, which is that higher observer aspect that's sort of watching the little me in the play, in the game. And it's guiding everything. And the higher we can have perspective on ourselves, the more easily that we'll be able to navigate the game. And it will also raise our state emotionally. So we'll be in a better perspective. We'll have a better perspective on life. and thus be less emotionally guided by all these random things that happen in a short course of time that seem maybe negative or like setbacks or any of that type of thing. So the law of vibration really is just saying, look, underneath of all of this is just some wiggly stuff. Something is moving really fast. In fact, so fast that it's like a wheel on a car. It's just moving so fast that it looks like it's static. And so that's what we live in. It's pretty crazy. Now, we don't perceive that, just like we don't perceive X-rays or some of these other frequencies, right? They're too high or they're too low for us to perceive. So we don't see every vibration. We don't experience every vibration. There's doggy whistles. Those are higher than we can hear, but dogs can hear them. So everything is ultimately moving all the time, within energy, constantly moving, constantly all the time, always moving. So knowing that, we can figure out what we want to tune into, what movements are going to be the best or most beneficial for us to pay attention to, shift our awareness and attention to those, and then at that point our emotional state can rise up, we can have more perspective, and we can have just an easier life, There's so much work and meditation and all this stuff. Don't get caught up in all this work, man. There's a lot of great work out there. Self-development is fantastic. It's good to become a better person. I'm not saying anything negative about any of that, but don't forget to play. Don't forget to enjoy. Don't forget to have a good time. Raise your vibrational state or whatever, your emotions, by having fun, by laughing. That's a vibration too. And it's a very, very high vibration. Laughter is very, very sacred to me, and I think to a lot of folks. But yeah, like start there. Like put yourself in a better emotional state by having a little bit of observation. Remember, if you can laugh about something, then that means it doesn't have any power over you. If you think it's funny, if you can find the humor in it, then it ceases being more powerful than you are. So that's the pendulum hook of vaudeville, right? Like if you can laugh something off, then it doesn't control you anymore. So the law of vibration, everything is vibration, everything is moving. We want to take and transmute our state to the highest vibration. And I think a lot of this vernacular is just widely overused, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Look, everything is moving. We know this from science. Everything is movement. That's what this chapter is saying. And when we perceive different states of vibration, then we're affected by those states of vibration. Whatever it is that we're tuning into or hooking into with our attention, we are absolutely adding more energy to that, whatever that thing is. So all of these could be vibrations. These could all be known as different pendulums as well, which is an interesting thing to think about. This is something that could grab your energy, and it has its own sway. And we'll talk a little bit about rhythm as well coming up, as well as the other concepts in this book. So hope you're enjoying this series. I've been doing a lot of podcasting, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to be doing a lot more podcasting, as well as doing some comedy stuff on another channel this new year. I'm going to start really putting a lot more emphasis and energy into that, and I'm really excited about it because I'm working with some great people, and we're just ecstatic to be able to work on such cool projects, and to be able to contribute to something that we think is really fun as well as important. So if you want to support me at all on Patreon for the podcasts that I'm doing, I'm going to continue doing those. Please do so. I've got a bunch of stuff on Gumroad, and then I will definitely be talking more about this rollout of the Flying Squid, this comedy thing here that we're putting together here in Athens. And, I'm really excited about it. I just want to say thanks, everybody, for watching this video. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you have comments, questions, don't hesitate. I will eventually get around to it. And I appreciate you all for watching this video. Thank you so much. See you next time.